What's good, people? It's your boy TyWill again. We are back at another one-on-one with TyWill. A lot of y'all don't know what's going on. And I'll be honest with you, I just figured out what's going on. I found my niche. My niche is mental wellness, specifically focusing on Black male empowerment in multiple areas, right? July 11th, I'll be doing the official launch for One-on-One with TyWill with a live audience. It's gonna be at the Art Museum downtown. I'll give y'all more information after we finish this. I'll do a little slideshow and let y'all see that, what's going on. However, today is a special edition because the last one I did with a close friend of mine that I've known for a long time, about 15 years. This is a close friend of mine. I've known him for probably 15 plus years.
15 years.
Yeah, I know him
a little
since.
bit more, probably 17.
How old is Nate?
Nate's 15.
So I've known you for about 17 years, you're
Yeah.
right. So I've known him for a long time. I've shot his wedding, I've shot his graduation pictures. We done been to the house, we done cut up, all right? So this is a special treat. Ladies and gentlemen, my homeboy, my friend, my brother, my homie, Greene.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Appreciate it.
Tell the people about you, bro.
Oh, man. I ain't nobody. I ain't nobody.
I like that.
No, man. I'm a native of Columbia. I went through Richmond 1, grew up, multiple areas.
Yeah.
One too many, sometimes I say, and sometimes I'm grateful for the many paths I took, but I'll come back to that. But anyway, Eau Claire High School graduate to the class 2004.
Yeah.
I'm a Shamrock.
Yeah.
Down to earth.
Yeah.
I won't change it.
Yeah.
Right. I love my Shamrock country. And then I'm a Gamecock.
Mm-hmm.
So I graduated with my Bachelor of Arts, Experimental Psychology. And then I will go on to get my master's in clinical mental health counseling from South University.
Yes, sir.
So that's my professional school background. And then personal wise, loving wife,
Yeah.
loving son,
Yeah.
beautiful family,
Yeah.
grateful for them.
Yes, sir, man.
They grounded me, probably gave me part of the space that I'm in.
Yeah.
And then, host of other family, loving family. So
Yeah.
that's much about me, man. But this is about today.
Yeah.
This is what we're about.
Yeah.
I don't want to be too much.
And I want them to
me.
know more though, because it's gonna make sense, right? I don't know if you saw Den of Kings yet with Kurt Franklin.
No.
That's a good one to check out. I'm gonna shout that one out. But Den of Kings basically talked about how we have two lovers. That first lover is always gonna be your career. And then you got your wife at the house. Right? We won't go into that. That ain't my topic. However, but the more people know that you do, because people know I do a lot, and they say, man, Ty, how you balance? But you do probably more than me, honestly. I'm gonna put that on camera. Chris probably does more than me. He just told you he's married. He's a track coach. He's in the military. He owns a transportation business, Greene Group. It's a lot that he does, okay? All right, so back to what we were saying. So Chris does a lot, right? Probably does more than me. So I want y'all to be able to sit down and tune into this, because from a mental health perspective, specifically with June being Men's Mental Health Month, I've got a licensed mental health counselor here. First time ever having one on the One-on-One with TyWill, so that's a kudos. But we're gonna get straight into it. So Chris, tell us, man, what is your overall approach to therapy and counseling?
So the therapy to me is is new. And when I say new, counseling has been around for ages.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But therapy has just been tapped into.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to consider in the mental health world, you want to consider that's the woke moment. That therapy. You've heard more therapy in the past 5 years than you've probably ever heard in the tradition of life in general. I love therapy because therapy becomes peace. So my therapy journey started after college when I started going. Things didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
The way I thought they were going to make out. Some of the choices I made.
Yeah.
That's when therapy started for me. But I was unaware that I was in that I needed therapy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Counseling, you know, you can get counseling from anybody. You get counsel, you know, from your pastor, mom, your dad, you know, grandparents. That's counsel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Somebody giving you advice. But therapy is doing the work.
Good.
And most people miss doing the work. Yeah.
Very well explained, man. And that's good to know. I like what you said. Therapy becomes peace.
Yeah.
Break that down a little bit more, because when you think about what you experienced in college, if you want to go into it, that's totally up to you. If you don't, that's fine as well. But what helped you realize that therapy is your peace?
Man. So for as long as I can remember, I've always thought optimistically. Mm-hmm. There's something else. Mm-hmm. Like, this moment can't be the moment. It got to be a better moment.
Yeah.
Because I can see a better moment. I witnessed it. So I've always interested in people's behavior, and then I wonder, like, why do I do things that I do? Even when I was younger, being naive, not listening, being a chap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I got punishment, I would sit and think, like, man, after I got beat, I had those moments.
Yeah.
I didn't live with a silver spoon, as some would say.
Yeah.
I grew up hard.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say bad. I'm gonna say hard. And hard is different in different levels of life. And I have experienced the different levels of life. I've been, as a child, poor, as an adult, poor. Mm. I've experienced happiness and what appeared to be middle class in the poor. And I felt that I've experienced as an adult in my life, trying to be in between the Joneses type thing.
Yes, sir.
Then there was a moment of value when we were poor as a kid. And then even greater perspective of what poor actually is as an adult. So I always was curious about kids, like, just in general, why we think the way we do. Mm-hmm. And why do adults respond the way they respond? It got to be different. It has to be. Not knowing what I was feeling. Yeah. I didn't know how to express this. And the first time I experienced counseling in general, I had lost my stepfather and my grandmother within months of each other. Mm-hmm. Months. And that was, maybe a few months in between. Yeah. But that hit me hard, like, devastated. But I didn't have anybody to talk to. And at home, my mom, who is now considered a widow, even though that's not my dad, but that's who I knew as dad. Yeah. Was like, man, why we here? And then when you go see certain things, you're like, that's different. So I saw different things, man. And then I was always curious about behavior, why we do what we do. And so I enrolled at University of South Carolina, and that really opened me up. Mm. But it was the counselor there that made me see it. And other people had been telling me this, but it was only then I was able to sit in it, because my grades were like trash. They had got trash. I'm going in college. It's high school.
Okay, high school.
Freshman year.
Yeah.
Crashed. I'm talking about straight A's all my life. You know what I mean? Whatever, up through high school. And then one semester, I literally went from straight A's to almost flunking out of my freshman year.
Wow.
It's crazy. To the very like being kicked out of school. Like
Yeah.
it was bad. But it was her, and it was an English teacher, I think Miss Anderson was the therapist, and at the time I think her name was Miss Dix,
Okay.
Miss Dix in English. But she's like, you can be something in your life. You just gotta straighten up. I know I heard it plenty of times in my life, but you gotta straighten up. If not, you're gonna be one of these same dumb niggas out here.
From a woman.
Or from it just boop, like a bulb just went off. I'm like, huh? And then Miss Anderson, the therapist, was like, you say you want to play sports in high school, but you ain't gonna see that. Or you can't even get to college because of what you're doing now. If you don't check yourself. Then they made me sit there and talk. Like I couldn't leave until we had a conversation. And me saying what I said, I felt valid because growing up, shut up, boy.
Yes, sir.
Or stay in a child's place.
Yes, sir.
Or stay out of grown folks' mouth. That was so much till it was a fear to be around adults. When adults around, you're like, you got to be quiet.
Yep.
As an adult, I understood what they were trying to say,
Yeah.
but it wasn't implemented well.
Right.
Because I believe everybody has a voice.
Yes, sir.
Everybody has a voice. And regardless of whatever is happening, your voice, even it being internal, and you feel like you don't have anybody to say it to, write it down.
Yes, sir.
Get it out. So that you can be able to express yourself. Because there's moments we get caught up emotionally where we say everything here. And then when it's the moment trying to be in the moment to express how we feel to whoever, we lack the words. And when you lack the words, you can't be understood.
That's real.
Because we communicate verbally. Non-verbally too, but someone can't misjudge what you say. Like what you said, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody, that's what you said out of your mouth.
That's good. Said when you lack the words, you can't be understood. That's good.
Yeah.
I got another question because this is a good area that a lot of people don't realize concerning. And I won't label it just as childhood trauma, but early trauma, and that's what you basically just alluded to, right? So, what does a safe space look like for you outside of your profession?
A safe space outside of profession is a place where I can be vulnerable but not be punished.
Yeah.
And punish isn't just about a physical abuse from a parent. I'm talking about being valid in who you are and what you experience or what you're going through. Because your experience is your experience.
It's real.
Your experience is your experience.
Yep.
Now, whether that experience was experienced by someone else the same exact way, that's up to them to determine. And then y'all may be able to come together to be able to explain that, whatever took place between y'all.
Yeah.
But if you can't communicate that, you don't have the words to use. And every time I say something, you get into those moments where you want to fight, or you having a conversation even with a spouse or a partner, You get to a point where you no longer can verbalize what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it get throws back at you.
Yeah. Throwing back in your face.
It's going back to being vulnerable, but not being punished.
Yeah.
That's a safe space.
Good.
And that's for everybody. That's not even. I'm not just talking about. I'm even talking about. Even when you're talking about a violent crime.
Mm-hmm.
That was committed by someone who's conscious of what they did and is remorseful. It's more than just a crime.
Mm-hmm.
It's now a why. To get an understanding to try to prevent this.
Got you. That's good. Yeah. Why? To get an understanding to try to prevent.
Correct. Let's take our current problem. This is across the board, especially in the black community.
Yes, sir.
Especially among men. Young black men are dying rapidly at the hands of violence, specifically gun violence, and black on black crime.
Mm-hmm.
It's the highest. Not saying we're not dying at the hands of police. Not saying we're not dying at the hands of the law in any fashion.
Right.
Not dismissing that. That happens.
Yeah.
I never downplay that.
Yeah.
But there's some accountability on our own side that we have to be able to explain.
Very much so.
But we harbor it.
Yeah.
Because it is a childhood trauma. People don't grow up to want to be in a violent gang. No.
Right.
People don't want to grow up to be in a violent gang.
Right.
It's not my desire to grow up and to be violent. Because I don't believe the word gang is derogatory, right? It's no different than a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look a certain kind of way, then it's considered gang.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when I say look a certain kind of way, I ain't just saying black. If you're even being Hispanic with a lot of tattoos,
yep.
you are profiled, and so it's a gang. It's different than the KKK.
Right.
Because it ain't the same.
Right. That's good. Now, how do you encourage people, whether that be clients or family, friends, like when you counsel them, how do you encourage them to, let's just say, be who they are or be comfortable continuing their growth cycle through whatever process they may be coming to you for? So, because I know you probably do, I think you do both family and individual, so.
So I do family and individual.
Yeah.
And counseling. It's I was writing out some notes.
Yeah. Now you can go anywhere you want to go, man.
I think I spoke to you earlier in the week when the space was transformed.
Yeah. Yeah.
to the shop.
Yeah.
Right. That the key for my success, one of the keys to my success, is that I can meet people where they are.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people miss that. Even some professionals, they miss that understanding of meeting somebody where they're at.
Yep.
Most times people think about physically. I physically see you in your current emotion, and so I can meet you there. But it's a different story when you have experience in what I'm feeling, and you're not just trying to close something.
There you go. That's
close
good.
the door.
That's good right there.
Because you don't want to feel it.
Yeah.
Or even from a legal aspect, you don't want to really hear or care. And a part of it is just systematic because you don't really get a chance to express what you really went through, to make you commit whatever you committed.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother tunnel. But basically, just you're not able to have that voice. That's why I feel that's why most people commit the crime when they decide to commit crime or do something bad, make a bad decision. Let me cut the crime piece out.
Yeah.
Because it's not always. I say crime. I'm just thinking about the effect of law enforcement on black men, but doing something bad, making a bad decision, right? There's a reason why. There's a now reason, but there was something that was planted
Yes,
a
sir.
while ago that took root.
Yep. Cause and effect.
Took root,
Yeah.
right? Even weeds have roots. They grow strong.
Yes, sir.
You know, some of them ain't easy just to pull away.
Right.
And a lot of times people, they miss that. So I'm able to meet people where they are.
Good.
I'm compassionate. I'm sympathetic. I let them understand that the space that they're in, right? There is no character here.
That's good.
It's just a story. Separate the character. Just tell the story. If you're reading a book, you can read. And even if you can't read, you can talk.
Right.
You can explain yourself. Or you can at least try to get a point across. Just tell your story. Take the character out of it.
Oh, wow. That's good, Chris. So explain that some more. I like that. I ain't never heard that before.
It's why I have a passion for helping people. And we have this term called white savior, right?
Yeah.
Where, or we say savior syndrome, that people are like a hopeless help person. Like you gotta help somebody.
Okay, yeah.
Right, and you're stretched thin with helping people because you want to feel that same thing. You lack that. You lack it. So you feel like you always gotta help. But mine, and I call those busy people. All movement is in progress.
Facts.
Right?
Yep.
You can be stationary, yet still be moving.
Yes, sir. Still progressing.
No, still moving. Progression is forward.
Okay.
But you can stand still and still move.
Okay.
Because you can be moved as one piece. You can fall forward, you can fall to the side, you can fall backwards. But that solid piece can't be moved.
Okay.
Or you can open yourself up to be fluid, tell the story, walk it out, and then give that person the same space.
Good. That's good. I'm definitely that's gonna be a clip right there. That's good. That's good. So, are you comfortable like sharing a personal experience? You kind of went into it with your earlier, like high school, college days, as far as like grades. But are you comfortable sharing an experience about how you face mental health challenges? Because I mean, think about it now. As you think about that, I know you. I've seen you in many roles, but I'll be honest with you, I've never seen you cry. I've never seen you sad. I've never seen you dismissive. I've never seen you out of care. I've never seen that out of you. However, I know that you're human, right? And I've experienced like personal, like in your house, kickback type stuff.
Right.
And that's the fun part. But sometimes, I'm not saying you do this, I've done it. Sometimes we can have those fun parts to cover up what we're really dealing with. Because I done been at your house plenty of times, but I was struggling personally. But you ain't knew about it. I just needed to come over there to get back to what reminds me of who I am, right? So have you had any experiences that you faced, like mentally? Are you willing to share any of that?
So, first, yeah, I can share. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Because I can I can speak my story without being as emotional as I was when I first told it or talked about it. Killed me, boy. I don't think I cried that much in my life. even getting a whooping, and
Yeah.
physically, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or break up. I don't think I ever cried that much. I had got beat so bad emotionally, but anyway, I'll be transparent with you.
Yeah.
I don't have many people that's in my circle.
Right.
You aware of that?
Right. Very much so.
Cliche, you know, we talk about people in circles. We talk about how close they are to the center.
Yeah.
And for so many people, I am their center. They can go outside and still revolve around me, but at some point they will have to come back to the center.
Yes, sir.
Right? And we always don't know who belongs inside that circle. We place people in those circles because we feel like that's what we need. Quantity means more. But I would rather have quality than quantity.